Yo, what is up, guys? It's Cohen back here again today with another video. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the games today, specifically two or three teams. I want to talk about the Knicks, first of all. Shout out to everyone that's watching that's a Knicks fan. They've got some things to be excited about. And I want to talk about the Toronto Raptors, who have not a lot to be excited about. So before I get started, drop a like, subscribe if you like this type of stuff. Just at 1.5K, so thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed, everyone who watches the channel, shares it with other people. Appreciate you all a ton. Now, going into it, starting with the Knicks. The Knicks look good. They played the Hawks today, who have been pretty good this season. They're kind of falling off a little bit now, but overall they've been good this season. But the Knicks beat them not handily, but it was a pretty convincing win over the Hawks. Julius Randle has looked like an all-star this season. Tonight he had 28, 17, and 9 against to be fair, not very good Atlanta Hawks defense. They don't play a lot of defense. But he's looked incredible just overall this season. On the season, he's averaging 22.1, 11.4, and 7.5 assists, looking like a really tall Russell Westbrook somehow. I don't know. He's looking like Pelicans Julius Randle, but even better. He's been incredible for them. The Knicks are now 3-3. If you hadn't realized, I believe they're 3-3, and yeah, they are. But that's better than the Nets, who everyone was super hyped about coming into the season, given the Nets did lose Spencer Dinwiddie. But still, like, this Knicks team they're fun, which is not something you can say about a lot of Knicks teams that have been put on the floor in Madison Square Garden over the past few years. RJ Barrett had honestly one of his best games as a pro. He had 26, 11, 5 assists, 2 steals. He shot efficiently too, 10 of 19. Only 1 of 5 from 3. He wasn't really on from 3 tonight, but that, there are going to be those nights. On the converse side, that means he was super efficient from inside the arc, making him 9 for 15 from inside the arc, which is good for him. He was a plus 13 tonight. I don't know what Elfrid Payton was doing out there. He shot like 18 times and was not good at all, but it didn't matter because the Knicks still won. Mitchell Robinson looked solid. Emmanuel Quickley has been great for the Knicks. He was a huge pickup for them in the second round, courtesy of OKC. I know I would have liked to have Emmanuel Quickley, but I'm also very happy with Teo Maladone. So shout out to the Knicks, who we both kind of got what we were looking for there. 16 points, 2 rebounds and assists. He just gets buckets. He's not really a point guard who's going to get you a lot of assists typically, but he kind of just gets you some buckets, which every team needs someone like that, especially if they can have that guy coming off the bench. Maybe someday he finds his way into that starting role, but RJ is also not like a great facilitator. He's improving, but he's not a fantastic facilitator yet. He is also still very young, so they might have to find that playmaking point guard somewhere. Maybe they somehow end up with maybe they somehow win the lottery if they miss the playoffs, which is crazy that I'm even saying if they miss the playoffs when I'm talking about the New York Knicks. But if they could somehow win the lottery and get a Cade Cunningham, this core would look amazing for the future. So the Knicks just deserve a shout out. The Hawks, like I said, are falling off a little bit. They just couldn't contain greatest player of all time, Julius Randle. There was that graphic a couple days ago I tweeted out where Julius Randle is one of 3 players all time to have 99 plus points, 50 plus assists, 50 plus rebounds, or something like that in their first 4 games. So he's really proving a lot of people wrong, including me, who wasn't anticipating a very big season from him. He's looked great. So shout out to the Knicks. I don't know who they play next, but the Knicks are a team, if you're looking for a team that you want to tune into games for, I mean, basketball in New York's kind of fun again, so they're an option for you. On the other side, we have the Toronto Raptors, who, if you're looking for a team to watch, you should not watch the Toronto Raptors because they do not look fun at all. They're 1-5. That's where we're going to start. They paid Pascal Siakam a lot of money to be very mediocre to start the season. Today he had 22, 6, and 3, which is okay. But if you're the first option, you can't be playing like that. Fred VanVleet is doing pretty good this season so far, so shout out to Freddie. He had 35 tonight against the Celtics. I'll get to why this is such a bad loss to the Celtics in a second. Kyle Lowry played okay, but he hasn't been very good this season. Um, Aaron Baines, I love Aaron Baines, but he has not been good. This team just doesn't have great big man depth or just depth overall. Norman Powell's not playing well whatsoever. He's averaging less than 10 points per game. They just don't have production off the bench. They're not good defensively. The Celtics today were missing Jeff Teague, Romeo Langford, Marcus Smart. They started rookie point guard Peyton Pritchard, I believe. They started Tremont Waters. Peyton Pritchard came off the bench. But Peyton Pritchard had 23. Peyton Pritchard, I loved him in college. Me and my friends, just for some reason, really, really liked Peyton Pritchard, so I'm very happy to see him hooping. But Jason Tatum put 40 on their heads. Jaylen Brown had 19. Like I said, Peyton Pritchard had 23 points, which he is a good basketball player. But when you have like solid defensive guards like Van Vliet and Lowry, that's not something you can let happen, especially if you're not scoring the ball very well right now, like the Raptors aren't. You just can't let that happen. And this was a Celtics team that, like I just listed, they're super depleted in their depth. Semi Ojeleye played 30 minutes. If you know any Celtics fans, if you ask them if Semi Ojeleye played 30 minutes, what they thought the result of the game would be, they're probably going to tell you they lost by 900. Robert Williams, who I kind of like, he had a double-double. He had 11 and 15. The Celtics' depth, honestly, it's kind of a worry, but those guys stepped up today. I do think that they do have a problem a little bit with their bench depth, which is why I thought I tweeted out, if the Raptors lose this game, this is huge. And they lost it in convincing fashion too. They went up by 20 early, and by the third quarter they were down 20. The starters didn't even play a lot of the fourth quarter. They came in at the end because the Raptors bench unit actually cut it to around like 10-ish points against the Celtics bench unit. So they brought the starters in just to close it out, which they did. And now the Raptors have the worst record in the NBA. I think that they're going to have to make a move, or they're in serious trouble of missing the playoffs, because this is a terrible start, especially when you have a lot of other teams who I thought they would be like out of the playoffs that have performed pretty well to start the season. Like Orlando has looked really good. They blew out the Cavaliers today. Shout out to the Magic. They've blown out the Thunder too. They've looked good to start the season. The Pacers are looking really good, who some people thought would miss the playoffs. I didn't think they would. Like the Hawks that we just talked about have started out good. So the Raptors can't afford this bad start if some of these teams are going to play beyond what was expected of them. And with this 1-5 start, they're just, I don't know, man. They just look lost. And Nick Nurse, in my opinion, is one of the better coaches in the NBA. But he's kind of looked lost too. Raptors fans I know I've seen on the timeline have not liked his rotations at all. I don't think they're terrible, but I also don't know as much about them as those Raptors fans, so I'm going to trust them on that one. Like I said, their big man play, they miss Ibaka and Gasol really, really badly. I think it was very underrated how important they were to that Raptors team. And I think if they don't make a serious move, they may miss the playoffs, because this is not good. They just look lost. And they haven't even played very bad, they haven't even played great competition yet. This is a game the Raptors should have won. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They should have won this game, and they didn't. So, sorry, Toronto Raptors fans. I feel for y'all, because I do like the Raptors a lot, but it's just not looking like it's happening right now. And I do think some of that is attributed to the fact that they're playing in Tampa Bay right now. A lot of people forget that this Raptors team got moved to Tampa Bay for the season. They're not allowed in Toronto right now because of COVID. So they are playing in Tampa Bay. They haven't been technically home in months. So that is a big jump for them. But the NBA season really doesn't care about that. These other teams that want to make the playoffs really don't care if the Raptors are playing in Tampa Bay or playing in California, playing in Ohio, whatever. So these teams are going to try, and unless the Raptors turn it around, I think they've got to make a move. If there was a team that wanted to go out and trade for James Harden, I think the Raptors need to take a long, hard look at trying to put a package together. Otherwise, I think that the playoffs are going to start falling out of reach unless something turns around huge for them. They need everyone to step up. Otherwise, surprisingly, the Raptors could miss the playoffs. I don't know. So, with that, also shout out to Philly today. Shout out to Steph Curry, who's balling right now. The Warriors are hooping. I think I'm going to do a video about Philly tomorrow, so look out for that, because they've looked incredible so far, and I wanted to talk a little bit about them because I do watch a lot of Philly basketball, seeing as my brother is a Philadelphia 76ers fan. I like the Sixers a lot, and I think that they're having a really good start to the season. Giannis had a great game tonight against the Pistons. Luka had a great game tonight against the Rockets. Malcolm Brogdon, as a UVA fan, UVA represent, he looked incredible today, hit a game winner. So shout out to him. I think I already shouted out the Magic for they just slaughtered the Cavaliers. And I think that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I got to a little bit of everything. If there are topics you want me to talk about in these videos, I like to try and do these videos like the day before, like before the games of the day. I usually try and put up a video around like 5-ish. There are some days like today I didn't get one up. I apologize, I was a little busy today. I played basketball earlier, which isn't always an opportunity in these times, so I went and just played basketball for a little bit, which was fun. So if you have any recommendations for topics you want me to talk about in those videos, or throughout the day, like if you see something happening in a game that you really want me to talk about or hear my opinions on, feel free to DM me or just tweet it at me. Let me know, because there's a lot of games constantly going on, so there may be a performance or like a storyline I miss or something like that. So just let me know. Cut me some slack if I don't talk about everything. But I think I hit on most things that I wanted to talk about in this video. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you again so much for 1.5K. That's ridiculous to me. It's been a very short amount of time, but I'm really excited to keep growing this channel with you guys and bringing the content that you guys want to see. So with that being said, I will see you guys later. Real one, say it back.